Well, let's talk to Rupert Bell now. He is Talk's royal correspondent. Rupert, great to chat to you. There's quite a lot going on, of course. Let me just link in the thoughts of the Dutch king. Of course, you cover the royals not just here in this country, but elsewhere as well. The Dutch king has said that we failed the Jewish community during the football fan attacks like we did in World War II. This is a major story. Lots of people reacting to this today, and a lot of leadership, I think, shown by the King of the Netherlands.
Yeah, actually, to come into this, obviously he wouldn't do it without probably advice from his own government. But the fact that he felt compelled to say something, because we all remember back to the Second World War, this is Remembrance Day and this weekend, of what the Jewish people suffered at the hands of the Nazi regime then. And you've got to, look, football fans, it's always going to be, it can be a grey area. But the fact is he's weighed in and made such a public statement suggests there is an outpouring of, maybe disgust at what went on last night. Now, I don't know the full facts, and you can see bits of footage of the Maccabi Haifa fans weighing in and vice versa. So there's obviously a lot of grey area around it. But the fact is, presumably on the advice, the king felt compelled, because it would be unusual their monarchy to say something like that. If you try and take it to a British context, how would it play if the king came out and said something in reaction to last night? How then you can actually move it. So in terms of the Dutch doing this, it's quite a bold move for the king to make a statement like that.
Yes, the Foreign Secretary here in the UK has reacted to it, but nothing from the royals so far. Let's talk about more about politics, because a Trump presidency, we are told, could reignite the row over Prince Harry's visa. He's living in California, of course, with the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, and we know that there is a bit of beef between the two men. What is the speculation, and what do you think will actually happen in regard to Donald Trump becoming president again? We know that Prince Harry, having previously denied it, then confessed in his book Spare that he was a user of Class A drugs.
I have a feeling, and that President-elect Trump may have more pressing matters to worry about. Yes. Whether Prince Harry's status is under question mark. Look, the organisation that is trying to put this into the forefront are clearly thinking they've got a case, but it feels that maybe they are, in their own way, trying to seek publicity. But at the same time, Prince Harry is there, but I really don't see any change to Prince Harry's status. I think it's easy sort of to have a go and say, look, he's in a vulnerable situation. He might be, but I don't think, if President Trump, who, bearing in mind he has quite an affection for the royal family, he may not be totally enamoured by the Duchess of Sussex, but I still think he might actually think that might be a step too far to say that Prince Harry is no longer he's persona non grata in the States. I really don't think there's going to be any change to his status.
Just hard to believe anybody wouldn't be completely enamoured with Meghan Markle. Now then, Prince William is on the front page of the Sun today. He's been talking about a brutal year. He says, he's asked how his year has been. He says, honestly, it's been dreadful. It's probably been the hardest year of my life, says Prince William. He's talking, of course, his wife, Princess Kate, has been through a horrendous cancer battle, and we know we'll see her on Sunday at the Remembrance events in central London. We'll bring you full coverage of that here on Talk, of course. And Rupert, I just wonder if you could just explain this to us and let us know what Prince William has been saying here.
Well, basically, he was interviewed when he's been part of this Earthshot Prize, where he's been hosting and giving out the prizes. Seems to have gone very well from a PR perspective on his behalf in Africa. Went down very well within Africa, and it all looked very good. But obviously there was a chance for him just to sort of take stock and say, this has not been straightforward, but that in many ways he looks pretty serene on the surface. But when you've got both your father and your wife recovering from cancer, that's quite a double whammy at any family. If you have that situation, take out the context of him not only just being the future king, so he's in the public eye, he's got to deal with the emotion of dealing with not only his father and also his wife recovering from cancer. But, you know, the week in South Africa does seem to have been a very good, and actually, you think about it, okay, there was the headlines last week about what the Duchy of Cornwall and Duchy of Lancaster, how they earn their money. But in terms of his recent homelessness documentary, which is about trying to help in this country, and earthshot his vision for a global prize to help the environment on a global scale, both those two elements of what he's been trying to do have gone well, which will no doubt be a positive for him going forward, because he's very clear he doesn't want to just be a curtain puller to open something. What he really wants to do is to prove that whatever he gets involved with has a impact somehow, even if it's so small. No one's saying he can cure homelessness. No one's saying he's going to solve the environmental problems within the world. But at least he's offering people a means to help in certain areas. So I think he will view this week as very positive, and hopefully when he sees his wife, with his wife this weekend, will be further confirmation that their recovery is going in a very good direction.